Hello, this is Brian with Ghosts of Georgia Paranormal Investigations, and today's Tech Talk is on the Rempod, the device that you see in front of you. The Rempod, or Radiating Electromagnetic Pod, gets its name from its point of difference to other paranormal hunting tools. It radiates its own electromagnetic field. Traditional electromagnetic flux meters used in the paranormal field are tuned to detect the fields. This one actually creates its own field. And that may make it sound fairly complicated, but for the use of it, not much. You'll see it has an antenna here, and on the very bottom, the 9-volt that powers it, and then the on switch. And I will set that down right there, so you can see that. And its basic design is when something passes into its electromagnetic field, you can see the lights from the angles. So if I wanted to continue to make stuff, you'll see I can see them all. I'm right on top of it if I was over there. So there's lots of different things that happen. And if you'll notice it's going right now, there's a reason for that, and I did it on purpose. The Rempod, even though it has its own EM field, it is actually susceptible to interference from things that might be beyond your control, like baby monitors, radio transmissions, fluorescent lights. Phones should be turned off around it. And if you've ever been on an investigation, every time you're on a walkie-talkie, it will set this device off. So for sake of argument, I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off for the purpose of this talk. The Rempod is actually designed to be left in a room that we're investigating. It's not a handheld device. We don't carry it around with us. And partly because, yes, it will trigger off of items around you, but also its noise, as you heard, and the lights, it's great to put it in front of a camera somewhere in a room maybe you're not in, or perhaps even in a room that you're planning to go to later, but you can hear it from a distance. The Rempod itself is, at least to Ghosts of Georgia, nice because it allows for that 360-degree coverage around it. And it goes out for, I don't have it on right now, but probably out to about right here, so maybe a few inches out around it. So when it does go off, or in this case, when things move into that field, hopefully spirits are approaching the device's antenna. And so when that device triggers and those colored lights go off, we can get an idea, perhaps which direction it's coming in. Maybe the audible tone will tell us how severe it is. And it just helps us in general. So what actually is the Rempod? And most people may ask, it's actually just a circuit paired with an oscillator to generate the EM field. And it's all wrapped up into this little 12-centimeter shaped case with the 5 lights. The antenna itself is only 25 centimeters. So it's pretty compact, and you can put it anywhere and it'll sound off when necessary. So I want to just touch back on one thing I said earlier, and that is it can and will be set off by things like walkie-talkies, cell phones, and lights. It's important to know that because when you're in an investigation, you've got to eliminate all of the false positives, and so that's something that you should know. The other piece about this device, and there are a few different ones out there like that, and about how we use it, and we've used it in many different ways. We were at a home where children's spirits were, reported. So we would take little toys and put little toys around it. And so if a child spirit went to play with that toy, it would set it off. So you kind of get the general idea of how it's used and why it's used. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to the Ghosts of Georgia Paranormal Investigation website or the Facebook site. Thank you.